Welcome to Block 1 of Business Administration Services. This block is called Work and Career Orientation, and my name is Zipho Ngongo, and I'll be taking you through the essence of work and career. Before we begin with the core of the material, we first have to introduce a section called self-awareness. Why this section is important is because who you are impacts how you work with other people. Therefore, we need to get a sense of what's going on in your life. Do you have a balance? When we talk about balance, we talk about 4 elements. Do you have a balance with regards to your body? Are you exercising? Are you looking after yourself? Do you have a balance when it comes to your mind? Are you intellectually stimulated? And if you are spiritual, do you have a relationship with whoever you believe in? Do you have a healthy spiritual relationship? And when it comes to feelings, are you able to manage your feelings correctly? It is very important we understand you first before we look at our work and our career, because knowing yourself allows you to know your purpose and your impact in your organization. Welcome to the world of work. At work, you are not an island. You form part of a team, and various teams form part of an organization, which allows an overall goal and mission of the organization to be met. The big picture of an organization. The big picture of an organization is governed by the business plan. And what the business plan contains is a vision, a mission, a values, code of conduct, strategic objectives, business functions, departmental goals, work goals, job descriptions, key performance areas, and key performance indicators. All staffs in the organization need to familiarize themselves with the business plan. The next focal area will be managing your time well. People at work face changes, interruptions on a daily basis, and to their planned schedule, which causes a lot of stress. It is important that you identify and prioritize routine and unexpected tasks. It is difficult to decide what is an important task when everything feels like it should have been done yesterday. But priorities aren't all equal. Your organization's procedure will give you an idea of which tasks to prioritize in order to meet the organizational goals. Steve Carvery's quadrants and Pareto's principles are 2 tools that will allow you to prioritize and focus what time you need to spend on doing certain things. So we will start off on Carvery's time management matrix to assist with prioritizing our time. It is made up of 4 quadrants. The quadrant of management, which is an act based on important things and things that are urgent. The second quadrant is the quadrant of personal leadership. This act is based on not urgent things, but things that are important. The third quadrant is the quadrant of deception. This is based on things that are urgent, but not important. And lastly, the quadrant of waste. This act is based on things that are not urgent and not important. The next tool that we'll be discussing is Pareto's principle. It is also known as the 20-80 rule. The idea is that by doing 20% of the work, you can generate 80% of the benefits of the whole job. The next focal area that we'll be dealing with is managing your working relationship. There's a big difference between a group and a team. A group is a collection of people who do not share the common goal and who do not work together to achieve it. For example, strangers in a lift. A team is a number of people, usually in the same place at the same time with the same general goal, who have a collective and collaborative skills necessary to create and fulfill their purpose and goals. Psychologist Bruce Tuckman first came up with the phrases forming, storming, norming, and performing in 1965. He uses this to describe the phrases that teams need to go through in order to become high-performance teams. At a later stage, the first stage was introduced called adjourning. The first stage that we will discuss is forming. When a group is formed, people start getting eager, people have positive expectations, but during the stage, anxiety is very high. The reason being is because people are uncertain and people don't know if they will be fitting in. What needs to happen during this stage is that certain individuals within the team need to meet a certain agreement and certain timelines. This stage is completed when members feel a sense of trust and belonging in the group. The next stage is storming. During this stage, tension is very high. This stage is when the people realize that their expectation does not meet reality. A lot of conflict arises from this stage, and how the conflict is managed is either what makes or breaks the development of the team. There is lots of dissatisfaction during this period. And the only way the team can move on to the next stage is if they successfully manage and are clear about the goals of the organization. The norming stage. The group have a sense of unity and are working together as members. They are able to learn new skills and are able to accomplish their task. At this stage, conflict is managed constructively. Leadership and control is shared as the team begins to work as we rather than I. The performing stage. At this stage, morale and productivity is high. Members at this stage are confident in their ability, they feel that they can do the job well, and they have a sense of pride in their achievements. There are less fights and arguments. The challenge in this stage is that the team needs to sustain the momentum in order for them to flourish. And then we come to the last stage, the adjourning stage. The adjourning stage happens for various reasons. One being that the project has now ended and the teams now need to go their separate ways, or it happens naturally where team members leave and they are replaced with new members. Because your team is constantly changing, you therefore have to continuously reevaluate, motivate, and allow your team to keep going back to the performing stage in order for them to thrive. An ideal team. An ideal team is someone who demonstrates reliability, who communicates constructively, who listens actively, who functions as an active participant, who shares openly and willingly, who cooperates and pitches to help, who addresses team members and needs. And our last focal area will be based on ethics. In every society, there's an informal and formal rules. These are the behaviors that govern how we should behave, if it's acceptable or unacceptable. These rules are referred to as morality, and the sense of morality is seen as your ethics. Therefore, our behavior arises from our ethics, our sense of what is right and what is wrong. Why has ethics recently become such an issue? Over the past 10 years, scandals, corruption, misconduct in business and politics has forced the issue of ethics in the foreground of public life. All employers and employees are challenged to do the right thing for the right reason. Ethics is about understanding what is involved in reaching the correct and valuable decision. The reason we look at ethics is because once you enter the world of work, you will be faced with lots of temptation. You will need to learn how to manage yourself and how to hold yourself ethically accountable in order for you to establish a good and trusting relationship with your employer. When it comes to ethics, more important than doing the right thing is doing the right thing for the right reason. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you've enjoyed this course.